Hello everybody, it's Ezra time again, and today I want to talk about a little bit about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, the official movie by Blumhouse and Scott Cawthon, obviously, and it was directed by Chris Columbus, as we all know. So recently we have a news here by 3C. It wasn't recently. I think this news was published in June 20, June 20, 2020. That's where Chris from 3C Films actually asked Jason Blum. And if you guys don't know who Jason Blum is, Jason Blum is basically the head of the Blumhouse production, which is the studio that actually produced the Fnaf movie as of right now. And on September last year, September 2019, that's where Scott Cawthon announced in a Steam post, I think, where he announced that the Fnaf movie has officially has a script. So the script for the movie is done. And as far as I'm concerned right now, it's just finding the location to shoot the movie and the casting, obviously. And on June 20, Chris from 3C Film has got a chance to ask Jason Blum about the official state about the movie. So without further ado, just check it out, shall we?
Ask you, obviously your studio has a lot of horror movies up and coming. The one I search on the daily for news about is the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I was just wondering if you could give any little tidbit or information, man, because I'm begging for crumbs here.
Well, it's we have been working on it a long time, but it's I'm not telling you anything I haven't said to a certain degree before, but I am. It's super active, so I really feel like we have a very good shot at getting to see a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I feel like it's really moving forward. It's not stalled or anything else. It might seem that way because we haven't done any announcements about it, but it's not stalled. It's moving rapidly forward, and you know, I don't want to put a timeline on it, but soon we'll get it. Soon we'll get a movie. I really feel confident about
You've
that.
said enough. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate
All
that.
right, thank you. I love.
So that's the news, guys, about the FNAF movie. So it's really interesting what Jason Blum has to say about that when, again, he announced that the FNAF movie was actually moving forward, rapidly moving forward, perhaps. Because which makes sense because back in September 2019, again, Scott Cawthon announced that the FNAF script house was done. It's officially done. He didn't actually change the script or anything because again, the script for FNAF movie it's been in production or it's been made or right for a longest time. Like it's back in 2015 where the movie was announced, and here we are in 2020. We didn't even actually get any word about that until June 20. Chris from 3C Film asked Jason Blum about the status of the movie, and there you go. You got the news from Jason Blum himself saying that the FNAF movie is super active and is moving rapidly forward. So I'm very confident we officially gonna getting the movie. It's not canceled, it's not stalled according to Jason Blum. So that's a good news because again there is no announcement about the movie whatsoever. We only have announcements like last year. Again when Scott announced that the script for the movie is finally done. And that's about it. We didn't actually get any more announcement after that. And I'm kind of disappointed by that because I've been waiting for the movie for so a long time. I kind of want to see what the official movie of Five Nights at Freddy's was because we got a lot of fan movie. We already watched them and we know how that feel. And they're all pretty good to be honest. They're not bad. Some of them are actually great. So I'm really imagine what the official movie was. When you have actually a big production company and you get the budget to make the movie. I'm really curious to see how the movie's gonna go with that type of stuff and with Scott Cawthon on board on writing the script because I think Scott Cawthon was the only person who wrote the script. He's the one who wrote the script, and Chris Columbus is the one who directed it. And I actually have some faith about Chris Columbus because Chris Columbus is generally a good director. I mean, not all of his movie was great. Obviously, some of you might say that Chris Columbus directed Pixel. If you guys remember that movie, it's not that great, but he directed the first two Home Alone movie. He directed the first two Harry Potter movie. He directed Mr. Doubtfire, I think, which is a comedy movie, and I think all people said it was great. And I think he also directed a movie called The Witch or something like that. I don't know. I could be wrong here, but he's generally Chris Columbus is a well-known director. So that's what I'm trying to say. He's a well-known director, especially. Oh yeah, he made Gremlin also. That was kind of like a horror movie, right? Maybe horror comedy, whatever, I guess. But Chris Columbus is generally a well-known director, so I really have a faith on him from directing this movie. And as for the script, well, Scott Cawthon is the one who wrote it, so I have high confidence that this movie is not gonna be sucked because, well, it was written by Scott Cawthon. Scott is actually working very closely with the director, the producer, obviously, making sure that everything is online, which what's what his vision was, and make sure that it's not going off the trail, obviously, because sometimes when you adapt a video game into a movie, sometimes it could very easily, the movie kind of like set off trail from the actual lore of the game. And I'm really glad that Scott actually took his time to make the movie, because I think on the last year, 2018, I think, Doko got an interview with Scott Cotton, and Doko asked about the movie, and Scott even say himself that, writing the script for FNAF movie is not easy. It's really not easy. It's really hard to do that, because, well, writing a script for a video game that actually just sit there, looking cameras and all that kind of stuff is certainly not easy. And you can say about anything about the lore, but again, the lore is not exactly like one person talking to other person. Basically, you can exactly create a brand new dialogue for that. So I kind of get why it was really tough to write a script. And again, this movie is being announced in what, 2015, I think, by Warner Brothers, and then on 2017 there is a turnaround by Warner Brothers. There's some disagreement apparently, or something like that, and then Scott announced at the same year in 2017 that Blumhouse is gonna be the one who gonna produce the movie. And I'm pretty sure you guys already know about all this news. And yeah, seeing how Jason Blum said that the FNAF movie is moving rapidly forward makes me really happy, and makes me really happy that it's confirmed that it's not stalled, it's not canceled, it's actually moving forward. So I guess it's safe to assume that the movie is now officially entering pre-production, which is before filming, obviously, because they need to find the location to film the movie, obviously, finding the casting choices, and we just have to wait and see. And I don't know who's Scott gonna cast in this movie. I don't know which character is gonna be in the movie. I'm assuming Mike Smith, the night guard, is gonna be a character in the movie, if Scott actually completely following the lore from the first game. Because if you guys remember, the FNAF movie is gonna be based on the FNAF 1, 2, and 3 universe. It's gonna be based on FNAF 1, FNAF 2, and FNAF 3 lore or story. So the game after FNAF 3 does not exist in the movie. And I know it might be sad for all of you guys, but I think this is a good decision. And I guess Scott even said himself that it was a good decision to make this, because if you include everything after FNAF 3, it's a mess. It's gonna be a mess, and you can't exactly make that into one movie. You can, and I think if this movie was successful, then we're gonna see the FNAF movie trilogy, which is gonna be awesome. So FNAF 1 is gonna be based on FNAF 1 game, and FNAF 2 movie is gonna be based on FNAF 2, obviously. FNAF 3 is gonna be based on FNAF 3, and that alone make me really exciting, and I can imagine watching the location in the game, in the cinema, the location from the game actually adapting to a movie screen, and I'm watching that in the cinema, and God, it gave me goosebumps. Because it's giving me nostalgia. You guys remember that back when FNAF was very popular, and right now you could say it's still popular, but it's not. It was less. It's still going. The community is still going, but it was less. Like, you can't deny it was less right now. And yeah, I really hope that the movie actually ending up being a good movie, genuinely a good movie. I really hope that it doesn't suck. But then again, Scott Cotton was the one who wrote it, and he actually taking care really carefully about the movie. So I'm really confident that Scott is gonna make a good movie, or have like a good screenplay or writing. And I'm trust that Chris Columbus is gonna deliver his directing skill, and yeah, we just have to wait and see, And Blumhouse is basically the kind of production company that actually didn't intervene with the director or the writers. Basically, they just like, okay, we're Blumhouse, we're actually making a movie, and then if the directors have an idea, then Blumhouse is gonna help them to make that idea come true. They not exactly intervene. As far as I know, maybe there is some point where Jason Blum intervened the movie and said that, hey, maybe this idea is better. I don't know, but as far as I heard, there is no single news about Blumhouse interfering the director's vision. It's all about the director vision. Like, if the director vision that is about this movie is about the tone has to be funny or action, then, or dark, I guess, then Blumhouse was like, okay, go for it. All we had to do is just helping you produce the movie. And I mean, they get the money. And again, Blumhouse does everything with a small budget anyway, so they always gonna earn the money back. They always gotta break even or come back from the money. They always get an income, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And I can't really and I'm assuming because it's Blumhouse, then I'm pretty sure the budget for FNAF movie is not gonna be that high. Maybe it's gonna be like $30 million. The budget maybe between 20 million or 30 millions. That's my prediction about the budget. Maybe, or maybe it's gonna be more. Like, who knows? and I'm assuming the budget's gonna be spent on the animatronics because I think the animatronics is gonna be built like real life size. Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy is gonna be made into into the movie, and obviously they're gonna add some CGI here and there because there is no way you can do everything. Maybe Chris Columbus and Scott Cotton want to do everything practical, no CGI at all, and that's fine because I really like that they're actually trying to do a practical effect in this movie and it's not CGI because I didn't really want a full-on CGI Freddy, Chica, and Bonnie and Foxy. I didn't want that. Even though the CGI might look good, but I still don't want that. It would be really cool if we can build a real size animatronics, a real size the Freddy and his gang for the movie. And I think that's what the direction they're gonna try to go. It's gonna go practical effect, but at the same time they're gonna go with CGI a little bit. When the animatronic is moving around, obviously, just to make it smoother. And recently, yesterday, Doco actually uploaded a video about what's happening with the FNAF movie. It's a 21 minutes long video, and then basically Doco is talking about what's actually going on with the FNAF movie, and he basically featuring Chris from 3C Films, the same as I did. And yesterday he talked about like how the movie is gonna, like how he's gonna predict the movie goes. Obviously just like I said, or just like Scott said, basically, it was from Scott Cotton that it's gonna be based from. The first movie is gonna be based on the first game, and so does the second and third movie. If the first one was successful, and I really hope it was successful, and managed to attract a new generation or a new audience to FNAF. And I really hope that's actually happening. And I really hope that it doesn't suck. And in the end of the video, Doco said that, hey Scott, if you want to, you can invite Doco to as a test screening audience, to review the movie. Is it good or is it something wrong? Like who knows? And if Scott Cotton actually did that, then wow. I mean, I think Scott should do that because Doco is actually the man behind the man of Five Nights at Freddy's. And I know some people say Markiplier was, but back then, yeah, he was. But right now, Doco is basically the guy who give the FNAF information. Doco and MatPat basically. And it will be interesting. It will be really interesting if we get to see Doco's cameo in the movie, MatPat cameo in the movie, maybe Markiplier cameo in the movie. I want to watch that. Wasn't watch that, but some people obviously want that. The FNAF community obviously want that. Yeah, it would be cool if we get to see Markiplier, Doco, and MatPat in the FNAF movie. Like that would be really awesome. Maybe Markiplier is gonna be cast as Mike Smith. That would be really cool. Just saying here, that probably not be the case at all. I don't think they're gonna cast Mark to do that. But then again, who knows? Markiplier is not a back act. It's not a back actor. If you guys have to see the project that Markiplier has done, Markiplier is generally a good actor. He's a great actor. He know what he was doing. So if he was actually cast as Mike Smith, the main protagonist for the FNAF movie, man, everybody's gonna be so much hype. The FNAF community is gonna be so much hype. Because Markiplier is the one who bring popularity on FNAF, and I think he deserved to be in the movie, even though it's just a cameo. He deserved to be in the movie. I'm just saying here. So does Doco and MatPat. It would be really cool to see them three in the movie, just making cameo, I guess, or we make them as a major characters. Like who knows? We just have to wait and see. Because again, we don't know who's gonna be cast in this movie. I don't know if it's gonna be somebody very popular or is it gonna be somebody just we don't know. It's gonna be somebody entirely new to this movie industry. Like who knows? But either way, I trust Scott. I trust Chris Columbus, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna make the right choice for the cast. And obviously, I don't think they can film. They can start filming right now because, again, I don't know where they're gonna film the location of the Freddy Fazbear Pizza. And what's going on with the world right now with the virus, and then there is some rioters and looters out there, making chaos, obviously. So I don't think it's gonna. I don't know when it's gonna stop filming. I don't think it's gonna start filming until 2021. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they announce something next in July this month, or maybe they're gonna announce something in August. Like who knows? Because so far, according to Jason Blum again, the movie is moving rapidly forward. So that's the good news, and we just have to wait and see. Maybe we're gonna get news about the FNAF movie, like maybe the location of the filming, some behind the scenes stuff that will be really cool. We just have to wait and see. And yeah, again, guys, I'm really excited for this movie, and I think the movie is gonna be released in maybe in 2021 or maybe in 2022. Maybe it's 2022. That's where I put my money at. But if again, Jason Blum said it's moving rapidly forward, then maybe we're gonna get the movie in fall 2021. Like who knows? This again, October is probably the best month to release a FNAF movie because FNAF movie is scary. Obviously, it's a horror movie, and I think it's gonna be. I don't know about the rating. Maybe it's gonna rate PG-13, and some people might want the FNAF movie to be rated R. You know, going hardcore and all that kind of stuff. But I think it should be rated PG-13 because again, if you guys remember, the majority of FNAF community is basically kids or teenagers, I guess, between age of 13 to 17. And again, that was back in 2014, I guess. So 6 years later, this all kids are growing up, you know, and you can see the FNAF community is moving forward with the new lore that Scott is trying to introduce, and we're going to move. We're getting ready to move on from the past lore, the past FNAF game, you know. And it's been fun, it's been great, but of course we have to to try something new. You know, we can exactly doing the same stuff over and over again. And yeah, I think that's why I think that the FNAF movie is going to be rated PG-13 because I think that's really suitable for the movie. I don't care if there's going to be any swearing in the movie. I don't really care about that. Um, and obviously they're going to talk about the lore and all that kind of stuff. And the murder is probably going to we're probably going to see William Afton or Purple Guy murdering some kids. But I don't really want to go and say that it's got to be it has to be gory or it's going to be gory. You know what I mean? And kind of like Friday the 13th movie, which is really gory movie. And again, I mean, I'm fine by that, but I don't think FNAF needs that. Needs that. FNAF, like the thing that kept the FNAF community going is basically the story and the lore. So I think that's what Scott Cawthon is trying to introduce. That's why I'm thinking that PG-13 is the right rating for the movie. But then again, that's my opinion. Maybe they're gonna go full rated R for the FNAF movie. Who knows? They're gonna full like hardcore on the gore and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know. I personally I don't really care about that, but I keep thinking that that's not what makes FNAF great. I don't think you need to really show the gore. I think you just need to focus on making the obviously the lore and the story, all that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. And I don't know who's gonna compose, the movie, obviously. And Leon Riskin is basically the guy who composed the Sister Location, FNAF 6, The Ultimate Custom Night. And so far his music was really great. And maybe who knows, maybe Scott Cawthon is gonna like introduce Leon Riskin to Chris Columbus and suggested him to score the movie. Like who knows? Maybe it's gonna be made by an entirely different composer. I mean, who knows? But whoever is gonna be in charge for the composer, I'm really hoping that that composer actually making a good music for the movie. Because then a good music and a good direction is gonna make a great movie, obviously. And again, the script is written by Scott Cawthon, so basically I have a high hope for this movie, and I really hope it doesn't suck. Because we waited for so many years for this movie, and I really hope that when the movie is finally coming out and when we finally watch this movie, I want to get out and watch. When I finally finish the movie, I really hope that I can get out to the theater and say that, man, that was worth it. That was actually a great movie, and the movie actually invited a new audience to the FNAF community. That would be really cool. And imagine if we managed to revive the FNAF community from the movie, because the movie is going to be based on FNAF 1. So imagine if when FNAF 1 was released, it's basically everywhere. It was popular. So imagine if this FNAF 1 movie, it does really well at the box office and critically, on critics, obviously, on audience reception. It's gonna revive the entire FNAF fan base. Obviously, it's gonna revive the entire Five Nights at Freddy's community, and makes me really excited for that. And that's why I'm really hoping that the movie doesn't suck. I really hope that it's gonna be worth it after all this year. Again, I trust Scott Cawthon, I trust Chris Columbus, I trust Jason Blum, I trust Blumhouse, and you can say anything about Blumhouse. Sometimes their movie is not that great, but you can really say that Blumhouse is basically not really like interfering with the director or the writer. And again, Jason Blum was really patient with Scott Cawthon, because Scott Cawthon delaying this movie so many times. I think twice, or maybe just once. Because in November 2018, I think that's where he announced that the script was done, and then he scrapped it and then write a new one. And on September 2019, that's where Scott confirmed that the script for the movie is already finished. Like that's the official script for the movie. It's finally finished. So yeah, Jason Blum is really patient, and Chris Columbus is also very patient with Scott Cawthon. I mean, Chris Columbus, I guess, I don't know. I mean, Chris Columbus is basically focusing on producing the movie, focusing as a producer this time. So, and I think this one, we're gonna finally he finally gonna get back on directing a movie. So that alone makes me really exciting. The last movie that Chris Columbus directed is Pixel. Once again, it's not that great movie. It's really not. So I'm really hoping that this movie does great, and it's gonna revive the FNAF community, and we get to see where FNAF is probably getting popular again. Hopefully, and at this point we can only hope. And when the movie's gonna release, I'm assuming if Jason Blum says is moving rapidly forward, like really fast, then we might get this movie in the end of 2021, like fall 2021 maybe, or we're gonna get this in fall 2022. We just have to wait and see. But yeah, it's moving rapidly forward. It's entering pre-production right now. They're obviously searching for casting, the filming location. That's just the thing that actually they're looking for, and of course the composer of the movie. And yeah, we just have to wait and see. We just have to wait and see. And yeah, I'm really excited for this FNAF movie. Did you guys excited for the FNAF movie? We've been waiting for this movie for a long time. So yeah, hopefully it's worth it. Hopefully it's worth the wait, and hopefully we get to see the FNAF movie trilogy. It will be awesome. You know. But anyway, guys, that's my thought about the FNAF movie. I'm really hyped about this movie. I really hope it does well. I hope the first movie does well in the box office and in audience reception, especially the FNAF community. And hopefully, if it does well, then hopefully you get to revive the FNAF Five Nights at Freddy's popularity again. And hopefully we get to see the FNAF movie trilogy. That would be really awesome if we finally get that. But yeah, guys, that was my thoughts about the FNAF movie. And again, it's moving rapidly forward. That's the news. What do you guys think about the FNAF movie? If you guys have any thoughts about the FNAF movie, then leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I love to read them. And again, make sure you guys. And again, guys, it's confirmed. The movie is not stalled. It's not canceled. Jason Blum said himself. It's not canceled. It's not stalled. It's moving rapidly forward. Even though they didn't announce anything, maybe they can announce something by the end of this year. Hopefully, we just have to wait and see. But again, if you have any thoughts about the movie, then make sure to leave them in the comment section below. I love to hear them. And yeah, hopefully this movie does well in the future. And I really hope I can't wait to see the trailer at some point. But yeah, guys, that's my thought about the FNAF movie, and I think that's it for today's video. Again, I know it's weird because this video is basically just me talking about the FNAF movie, and again, I really want to talk this movie is for a long time, for a longest time. So yeah, finally, I just want to talk about it. I just want to keep myself hyped for the movie, obviously, and share my thoughts with you guys, and maybe you guys can share your thoughts, if you guys want to. So yeah, I think that's it for today's video, guys, and I think I will see you guys in the next one then. Bye.